Hey y'all, good evening. Marietta back with another video. I'm telling y'all, I was just sitting here and I was just reading and I was thinking about exactly, how the world is today, and because of the fact that we're going through so much and how much stuff we do get from China. Y'all, I'm sorry, but you hear the dishwasher going. That's what you hear going in the back. And I got to thinking about how we get so much from China, our sneakers, clothing. We were having fun ordering off of Temu and Shein. And as I was just looking through the websites, and I was just thinking about how important it is for us to make sure that we're ordering now things that we really need because of these tariffs that are being imposed on us as we go. But one thing I really got to thinking about was the fact that even though we may be running around here thinking that we buying the best of everything, sometimes we're really not getting the best of everything when we getting stuff from China, because it's cheap, it'll suit our pockets. But even though, y'all have to excuse me because it's still a little chilly and I still got my hoodie on my head because the fact that my ears was cold, and so I don't want to turn on no heat because one minute it's cold and the next minute it's hot. So I figure I just put my hoodie on my head and just be me. Is that all right? Can I just be who I am tonight? And I was just sitting here and I got to thinking about all these designer handbags that people pay so much money for, and how so many women carry these bags, and sometimes they don't even realize that these bags are made in China. So as I was going across, I dug up something. It says, talking about the handbags. I just Googled because I wanted to see exactly what handbags were made in China, just so I would know for myself what handbags were made in China. And it says the following are some of the brands who currently source from China: Prada, Selected Designs, Coach, Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, Blueberry, Mulberry, Marc Jacobs. The leather or materials are imported from Italy, but the goods are manufactured in China. Troy Burke, Katie Spade, Tuma, and Sonamate luggage. All these things are made in China, and probably some more of our name brand stuff is being made in China. But the point I was thinking about, the fact is, even though these things are made in China, a lot of the people that buy this high-end stuff, this high-brand stuff, they have no clue whether or not they getting the real deal or not when it comes to think about it. Because if the leather is being shipped from Italy and it's been manufactured in China, that means China is putting it together and it's still coming from China. And the way I see it, it's like, once China begin to build a lot of our stuff, and it has put a lot of our stuff together, and a lot of our stuff have been shipped to China, and we've been purchasing stuff for China, these designer handbags that we put so much emphasis in, these designer handbags that we feel as though that as women we just got to have, and you ain't got to have just one, you got to have two or three, and you be spending $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000 on designer bags, and that you think quote unquote are designer bags, but yet they're being handcrafted in China, put together, stitched, and everything. And y'all know China is very good at what they do. So a lot of this money that you're spending, $5,000 and $6,000 and $20,000 for a Birkin bag, and then you got to have a Coach that's $500 and $600 and $700, and then you got to go get a Prada, and y'all spending all this money, $1,000 on Louis Vuitton, and this, that, and the other thing. They are beautiful. They are beautiful bags. Yes, and if you can afford them, do you. But I was just thinking about the fact that, do you really know who's crafting your bag? Do you really know whether or not you're carrying a real bag or not, or just the fact that it's stitched properly? Because China can definitely stitch a bag. Don't tell me they can't stitch a bag, because they can stitch a bag. I mean, when we think about the bags that we buy, and you think about the way they're well put together, I have seen some knockoff bags that they call quote unquote knockoffs, but they put them together with what they call the real thing, and they stitch the same way. They look the same. The leather is the same and everything. And it also had Italian leather. I mean, it's like saying, a lot of these bags that we carry, because I have some designer bags myself and have had them for years, and I keep them in a dust bag. But yet and still, when I think about the fact that now that after I've seen that China produces our designer bags and China is sewing our bags. Did I pay my $2,000 and $3,000 for nothing? Did I pay my $3,000 for nothing? Did I really get a designer bag? Did I really get a bag that was quality? When I paid that $500 for that Coach, did I really get a designer bag that was quality, or did I just get something that China threw together? And because of the fact that it looked good and it was strong and the stitching was straight and it didn't have no defects that I could see, and you go right to the Coach store and pick it up. You go right to the Louis Vuitton store and pick it up. You go right to the Prada and pick up these stuff. But do you really know? Do you really know? No, you really don't. You really don't. You really don't. And so with that being said, when I got to thinking about the fact of how now we're being disconnected, or the fact that not disconnected from China, but to the place where we got to pay higher money, more tariffs to get the things that we need, and we're already paying too much money for stuff that we don't even know that we buying. We don't even know if we really buying the real thing. All we know is the fact that we want a purse, and women, y'all know we want a lot of them cute bags. And I know they do look cute when you put that sundress on and you get them toes and nails done and you got that fashionable bag on your hip and you're the envy of every woman. And when you walk around, everybody's looking at your bag and everybody sees. Because one thing about us, we can spot a good bag. We look at them bags and we can see a good bag when you're walking with a good designer bag, and you can tell when that bag looks good. It looks strong anyway. We'll put it that way. It looks real. It looks legit. And yet and still, you really don't know, because remember, Coach started making some of the strongest genuine leather bags. And back then we could tell Coach bags because them bags was made with genuine leather. They were strong. And now Coach bags, most of them are watered down, flimsy. The same way with Michael Kors. You got to look at them bags. Them bags, you got to look at them hard. Sometimes you go in there and they feel this is flimsy. They won't stand up. They don't have no structure to them. You have to add that extra insert for you to be able to get some structure to the bag. So when I got to add an insert to get some structure to a bag that I am supposed to be paying this kind of money for, it makes me wonder, now that I'm thinking about it, have we been ripped off? Have we been ripped off all our life? Have we been walking around giggling and laughing and thinking that we got a better bag, and really we end up with just a bag that was made in China that was no different than the bag that the last person carried, or could have been the same bag from Walmart as far as we're concerned. But because it looked good, because it had the logo on it, because it was stitched right, and because of the fact that it felt good. But none of the Coach bags to me feel like the older Coach bags. I refuse to pay the money that Coach wants for their bags right now. I refuse to pay that kind of money because I understand and I know what quality bag is. When Coach put out their first bags back in the day, those are the bags that they're looking for right now. Those are the bags that are paying high dollar. Let me tell you this. I found the Coach bag at a yard sale a long time ago, and it was genuine leather, but it was beat up, but it was genuine leather. And the fact that it was Coach, and the fact that they can restore their bags and clean them up and restore. I threw that bag on an auction table. That auction went crazy over that Coach bag, as beat up as it was, because they knew that it was genuine leather. It had no cuts in it, no nothing. It was just dried out leather where they could actually just take it and put some kiwi on it and bring that leather back to life, and that leather, or they could just tear it down and rebuild it. And now they got a genuine old school Coach bag with structure to it, with some style to it. Those bags would stand up by themselves. A lot of these Coach bags you get nowadays, some of them won't even stand up by themselves. Some of them just like the Coach, Michael Kors, and a lot of these bags, you got to be careful when you buy these bags, because I like a structured bag. I like a bag that I could sit on this table and it would stand up by itself and it would actually hold itself together. If you're going to pay that much money, $5,000 and $6,000 and $1,000 for a bag, you want a bag that looks good, and not only that, it performs well. You want to make sure that that bag has a nice good strap on it, a nice shoulder strap that you can cross body with it. You want to make sure that the handles are nice. You want to make sure that that bag got everything that it's supposed to have for you to be, if you know a bag, you know a good bag. Just put it that way. So be careful when y'all out here buying these bags. Take a good look at your bags. Start taking a good look at the bags that you bought. Some of these bags that you got in your closet right now sitting on top of the shelf, you have not really paid that bag so much attention and realized that that bag is not structured the way we thought they should be structured, because a lot of these designer bags are being made in China, and some of them are being poorly made. So let's just call a thing a thing. So I got to thinking about that while I was sitting here at the table. And I said, you know what? Let me share this with some of the ladies, because a lot of them may not even know, and maybe this will make them really watch their coins when they're out there buying these bags and realize that these bags, even though the material's being shipped from Italy, this is what the internet says, they're being handcrafted in China. So regardless of the fact of what we think we carry. Now China's telling on America. Now China's telling on these places that because of these tariffs and what's going on, now they're letting us know how we've been ripped off for I don't know how long, that they've been putting our bags together when we thought we were getting them straight from the factory, and they were coming from Italy, and they were coming from these different places. And to know as much money as people pay for a Birkin bag, wouldn't you hate to know that you paid your $20,000 for a Birkin bag and you really just got a bag from China? Sometimes we got to be careful about these designer things that we chase after, these luxury things that we think are so well put together and so structured, and they could be just another ways of us losing our money, or they taking our money out of our pocket. So I thought I would just throw that out there. It ain't going to be before you long, because really, truly, that just was bothering me when I got to reading that article about our bags being made in China. So y'all be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your night.